All right, guys, what you see behind me is my first abandoned property that I get to view. Okay, here's my thought process. If I am brave enough, bold enough, and willing enough to try to build my own tiny home, create my own rainwater system, do my own satellite system, have my own solar power system, raise ducks and chickens and this, that, and the third, why not flip a house? I can live in my RV on the property. We've already checked into it. And I can either tear down, bulldoze down, manipulate, refurbish, whatever I want to with the property and anything that's left on it. Okay? But if I'm willing to go in and get a barndominium and do my own inside, how much easier would it be to get an abandoned home that still has good bone structure and just take it back to the bones and build my own house where the electricity and plumbing is already existing for the most part, making it easier for me to trace where it should have been. So I'm out here looking at this property. This is my very first abandoned home that I chose to look at. And when I tell you I fell in love with it from the gate to the gate, okay? Never mind the property is shit. It's got some good bone structure. It's got good destination. It's got good view. I love the windows in the house. It's just like one of those old homes. They're always built different. I always liked how open they were to, include more family gatherings and things. So I really like the structure of the house. The second house, however, could be torn down. But instead of tearing it down, the roof's gone on it. I thought, why not tear the roof off of it, slide up some poles, tarp it off, and use it like a barn for my animals in some kind of way, figure out how to open up that front and just have a lot of screens on there and let that be like my barn for my animals. That's what I would do with it when I'm standing here, visualize what would you do with that property. Okay, the other thing that I like about it is I was looking for a property that was fenced in. It's got the fencing. I was looking for the wider gates. It's got the wider gates. I was looking for one that had big trees in the front yard so you could put out your furniture and have your little family gatherings or just sit out and be comfortable on your porch. It's got the big trees. I love that it's not in the country but still has the country feel. My only worry is the restrictions and ordinances and things like that may come with it since it is in the city limits. But I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good deal. And even if I decided that I didn't want to necessarily stay in this particular town, for what I think I could do with this property, it's a great investment property. It sits on 3 lots. You could buy it, clean it up, put you a few houses out here, a couple of mobile homes if it's allowed in the area. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And since it's already pretty much fenced off, just put in proper fencing since you know where the dividers are. And now you have a little multifamily compound. I mean, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 houses back here, 4 mini houses. I'm thinking investment property as well as where I want to live, you guys. But I think this would be an amazing homestead. I love that it's got the 2 light poles. I love that water's already running here. I love it. I do. But I think different. When I look at it, I try to see it as it used to be and not as it is, because that's what I would be going for. Not to mention I can tear out walls that aren't bearing and make it something different as I go along. Another thing I thought about was there's 2 houses here. If I chose not to use that as a barn, which I think would be a mistake since I'm doing a homestead, just leave that up. Go through there, take all the windows out, and those windows can be used for this main property should we decide to use them. You can take the doors off. They're raggedy as hell anyway. Put screen doors on. They don't have to have regular doors to go back on them. It's got a little mini shed over there already to keep up with their food and different things like that. I mean, I'm thinking tear off the dang roof. Shoot you up some higher poles, drop you some tarps for ventilation for your animals, gut the whole thing out, separated so you got your ducks in one area, your chickens in one area, your goats in one area, whatever you decide to have. That's what I would do with this property if I were to attain it. I wouldn't even bother trying to take any of that material off of that house. I wouldn't. And then I would take this particular house, which is the main house, lift up the sinky floor in the kitchen, redo the kitchen floor. Was the only floor that's not in. Okay, the rest of them are in. They just don't have the subflooring on top of them. So that was one thing. The windows are actually tight and secure. The roof of this first one doesn't seem like it leaks, except for on the area that was attached to the porch. It looks pretty solid. There were no extra holes on the roof. Now, on the inside, it looks like they might have taken out the wiring. I mean, these are all things that you have to think about. But when I look at it, I see prime investment property. Secluded as best it can be within the city limits, because I honestly can't see another house clearly standing in the middle of this front yard and looking around. Here's what you see. Okay, there's a house there. There's a house over here. Can't see that house. There's a house back over in here. Here we are down here in the middle with these two houses. There's a pink house way back here in the back corner. There's a house that's abandoned, if you can look through the trees over there. And then there's a mobile home that's yellow in the next lot over there. But everything else, I mean, this is amazing.